So I have a father who left our family to start a new one with our neighbor when I was 13. I never fully forgave him, even though he tried, and still does, to make it up to me. Growing up, he would pay me to work with him in his company. It's pretty advanced construction finishing stuff, like custom molding for different uses. I worked with him on and off through college, and I've gotten very good at it. He asked me to join his company full-time as an equal owner after I graduated, but my stepmom had a fit and basically forced my stepbrother into the mix as well. I do not get along with my stepbrother and told my father that it's either him or me. He also did not have the right skills to work in a major capacity. To no one's surprise, my father said I needed to compromise so everyone in the family can be happy. I refused to compromise and went ahead and set up my own company. My father was upset, but I guess he figured he couldn't stop me. We continued having weekly dinners. For some reason, people are liking my company's work more. I have expanded my company more than my father ever has. I also targeted his major clients who have slowly come over to my company. I don't even do any of the labor myself anymore unless I want to. Last week, my father broke down and said his business was struggling to survive. I admit I did feel bad, so I offered him a full-time job in my company and that I'd buy out his tools and workshop lease. But I told him my stepmother and stepbrother are not welcome anywhere near my company. This made my father pretty angry, and we had a pretty big fight. He said that I betrayed him. Then I basically told him he betrayed me by cheating on my mother. I do feel kind of guilty I ruined my father's company he worked hard to build. But at the same time, he forced me into this position by getting his family involved. Am I the asshole? All right, friend, let's talk about this. Are you the asshole? I would say that you're actually not the asshole, but here's something you might want to think about. It's called therapy. Okay? Because there's two things happening right now, right? You've got, well, actually three. Number one, clearly you're holding on to some resentment, which I totally get and I want to acknowledge, because guess what? That happened to me too. This happened in my own family when I was your age. So in terms of the feelings and the emotions behind this question, I want to acknowledge it. And that is something that I had to go, frankly, to a qualified therapist to work out, because a lot of things that we do in life, you know, it's not fair what happens to us when we're kids, especially in this case, but also now that it seems like you're a really successful business owner, you're clearly savvy, and you were also given an entrepreneurial itch from your father, I think working out your personal stuff with a therapist is highly recommended. And I think that if you're an entrepreneur and listening, all of us need a therapist, okay? I don't care what anybody says. Be careful though. You want to make sure that person is qualified and is helping you actually grow out of the resentment, not staying in it. So that's my first piece of advice, okay? Because that really helped me get past the resentments that were holding me back from being in the relationships that I cared about. And although you don't say it exactly in your question, I can tell that you really love and respect your father. You're mad at him, but you love and respect him. And so because of that, there's still some opportunity there for you both to continue to be in a father-daughter relationship, not just in a relationship around the business and the work, because that's the second part of this. The work has become a reason for you all to kind of be in relationship together. And so that's the main reason why you need to work that out with a personal therapist. All right, so the second part that I want to talk about is, like, are you the asshole for, you know, having a more successful business than your dad? The answer is no. A clean, absolute no. All of us deserve to have the level of success that we deem possible for ourselves and even beyond that. And so I just want to say, like, you being more savvy in the business side of things doesn't surprise me. You know, in today's world, we have access to a lot of resources. And I think you were probably observing the areas where your dad was working too much in the business instead of on the business. So it also sounds like from a leadership and a management perspective, you figured out it would be better for you to actually grow the business and focus on your core skills of clearly like management, probably some marketing, business development, and you hired the right people to come in and perform the work so that clients were very happy and wanted to refer you to other people. I think that you being successful it has nothing to apologize for. That's the first thing. Now, in terms of the third thing, where it's now your dad is taking on some frustration that you don't want your stepmother and step sibling to be a part of the conversation or be part of the company, that's your right as the owner of your business. I don't see anything in here where your dad is threatening to sue you or there's drama in that area. So here's the thing, you've made a clear boundary and you've allowed your dad to make a decision. And it also sounds like that you said it was just about them being involved in the business. I didn't hear anything about them being involved in your personal life. So when it comes to business stuff, you're the owner. You get to create the boundaries, friend. You don't need to get permission just because this is a family business. In fact, it's not a family business anymore because it's your company. Just because you even choose to hire your dad, he is now becoming, an employee of yours if he chooses in. That has nothing to do with your stepmother and stepbrother. Imagine if it wasn't your dad and you were hiring somebody who was super qualified for the role, and that person in the interview with you said, hey, so if I want to work here, I want to bring my wife and my son to work every day. If that's not appropriate on a construction site, would you say yes to that person? No. The only reason this is causing trauma and drama is because he's your dad. So my answer is, you're not the asshole. Run your business like a boss, get some therapy, decide if you want to be in relationship with your dad, and then create that relationship with him separate outside of your business.